We pick up a tungsten rod whenever we would lose hit points, lose 1 fewer, and we're also offered apparitions. Do I want to be a spooky ghost? We do have tungsten rods, so that certainly incentivizes taking apparitions. Alright, and here's definitely an example of pathing that is fun. Got a relatively unusual looking act here. It's kind of split up the middle with no connection here. Looking at the different layouts here, there's only one path that hits 3 elites, and that's the far left here. We get a rest site here and nowhere else. We have to go to 2 shops. That's pretty yikes. I think if I was choosing my own path here, I would almost assuredly opt for the Fire Elite Fire and then take out the Burning Elite here in Act 1. But that's not the challenge. The challenge is take max elites, and that's what we're doing. Refine Bean, thank you so much for the Baker's Dozen, the 13 months. I think I'm highly incentivized to take 100 gold so that I can afford the first shop relic, whatever it might be. Let's just buy a common relic in the shop as well. So there's lots of good relics that we could see that I think would be a really good start. Including the Vajra, the Smooth Stone, the Bag of Prep, Data Disc, Orange Pellets, Membership Card, Hand Drill, yeah. Ori, you know, there's a lot of things, right? There's a lot of things. I also feel like removing 2 cards would be a really, really good start. Although it does make that first elite maybe a bit sketchier if it's sentries. That said, I'm going to take the 100 gold. And we're going to go. Keep it up or stop immediately. You know what? I appreciate, Orion, the option there. It's nice to have some agency in my content creation. Alright, we at least got a pretty good potion there. Ooh. Fun choices. Really fun choices. I haven't had a good excuse to take an early bullseye in a while, and I think this is a fantabulous take. Does pretty decent damage, and gives you 2 turns of the lock-on status, which makes lightning orbs hit harder. Could also opt for energy generation from this turbo, although I don't think turbo adds that much to the starting deck, whereas this bullseye is an immediate big impact in our ability to kill a gremlin knob. Waffles here. Doom and Gloom on sale is pretty spicy, especially if you want to be elite fighting, right? This is not just an answer to Sentries and Nob and Lagavulin, but also, you know, helps against Slavers, helps against Gremlin Leader. This is great. Ryan D&D, thank you so much for that Tier 1 sub. Welcome to the Cozy Sub Club. Thanks for the support, whatever I do or apparently do not do. 6 or more elites in an act will not be possible without some kind of jumping around on the map, so you'll need either flight or wing boots to make that happen. The most that you can normally see in a path is 5, because of the way the map generation works. You can't have 2 back-to-back, and you can't have any elites spawn in the first 5 floors of an act. So your first elite can be at most on floor 6, then you must have something other than an elite, then another elite, then the chest, then you can have another elite, then something else, another elite, something else, and your 5th elite. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the spacing that is required to get 5 elites along one path. Definitely taking that Doom and Gloom. I'm hitting another shop later this act, right? I am. You know what might really help is if I save my money till then. That said, the waffle is also pretty solid here. It's a 12 hit point heal plus 7 max HP, so we actually get 21 hit points. You know, going into this gauntlet, that is probably pretty important, actually. Potion's also somewhat reasonable. I think a strength potion would be fine. Waffle is a lot of dough. Or 19, you know, whatever, right? Like, it's numbers. Who even needs them? Multicast does pair with the Dark Orb pretty nicely. I don't think we have the energy generation to make it good. Leap actually could be pretty solid here, too. Is Hello World reasonable here? Yes, I think it's reasonable here. I'm less excited about paying 80 gold for it, but I would definitely add a Hello World at the moment. These are all my thoughts. Alright, I think I've decided I'm going to go with the waffle. Delicious! Delicious. I think I can block for the full 6 there. Yeah, definitely. Now that I have a Doom and Gloom, I really like a turbo. For instant energy generation. Claw also offering some damage here. But this doesn't feel like a claw direction. Look at that turbo. Give it to me. Second potion gets... Pile Driver or Steam Barrier? With the turbo, feels like we do want more card draw, and we do have 2 orb types to work with. So I do like a Compel Driver, but I do also like a 0-cost card. Notably goes well with the Dexterity Potion. That said, we need more Knob Insurance, so I think this is going to be Compel Driver. We lean into the offensive portion of the deck for now and look to pick up defensive cards as we go. Okay. And I can take a removal or money. I spent all my money and I am going to another shop. I'm actually going to take the money here, I think. Keep our cash. Although maybe removing a strike is okay. I find Claw a lot more useful than Pressure Points at Thanatos. Claw has better relic interactions than Pressure Points does. There are a lot of relics that'll reward you for spamming Claws, which is not true for Pressure Points. And I think there are more Defect cards that work well with Claw than there are the Watcher cards that work well with Pressure Points. So for Defect, you've got, for example, All for One, which can return stuff to you. I don't run any quality of life mods, Junkmaster, but I do highly recommend Minty Spire if you're looking for a quality of life mod, or in particular something to help you remember all your different relics. Minty can be really useful for that. Yeah, I'm going to take the money here. Looks like we rolled pretty high on the cash there, and that'll allow us to have enough to buy another relic at the next shop. Alright. First elite ends up being Lagavulin, which I'm pretty happy about. Not exactly happy about this draw order. But I don't feel like I can avoid playing Doom and Gloom right now. Waiting would be a sin. So we're going to get to play at most... Well, no, exactly 3 defends over the next 2 turns. I'll use the Dex Potion. We will block for 21. We'll take 19 and we win this fight. So, that's my official prediction here, is that we're going to end this fight with 52 hit points. Or 50 if we end up drawing all 3 defense on the same turn. See if that's true. Oh, 50. 50 hit points. Oh wait, it is 51. What am I talking about? This is why I shouldn't do math on camera. Foolish. That's assuming I draw a dual cast. Oh, we did. Okay. 51. We pick up a tungsten rod whenever we would lose hit points, lose 1 fewer, and we're offered 2 rare cards from our floor 6 elite. Good morning, Bite Your Ankle. I'm doing much better today. Oh, that's cool, Snow Golem Kirby. Establishment plus Equilibrium is a really cool combo I've had very few opportunities to play. So Rindo asks, how much do you have to think about potentially no energy relic at the end of Act 1 now? It's definitely something that you want to be keeping in mind on some level. And a turbo does make you a little bit future-proof in that regard. I particularly like turbo with Runic Pyramid, and with Empty Cage, too, as my boss relics. The turbo also makes the Seek a lot better, as it makes it much more likely for us to draw turbo and Doom and Gloom together. I am going to be taking Seek because of how valuable it is overall to be able to front-load an important card. In particular, getting Doom and Gloom down early against, say, Slavers is going to be invaluable here. I do wish I had good cause to take that Creative AI, but it's just not the case, comparatively. And I think the Doom and Gloom upgrade is what I'll opt for, although the Bullseye upgrade is also very important for 1 more turn of lock-on and plus 3 damage. And the Seek upgrade's pretty good, too, for draw 2. Unfortunately, we don't get very many such upgrades. Think about Hexaghost. I am going to upgrade Bullseye, actually. This is an upgrade I don't think I opt for often enough. Let's see, 2 lightning orbs. Six times 3, let's assume. Plus 18 plus 10. I don't see any reasonable way to kill this knob. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and drink that. I think that's what I'm deciding. Shuffle the deck. Let's see, if I seek the Bullseye and don't even play the Doom and Gloom, we're gonna do 7 plus 7, right? So we would do 6, 6, 11, 23, plus 14. One. Probably not gonna cut it, but there's a chance. We get him? Yes! We got him! Yeah, the Dark Orb could not get evoked, and for that reason we had to not play the Doom and Gloom there. Really glad I chose to use the Focus Potion, as we would not have had the kill without it. That worked out well. That worked out really well. Now we have a Preserved Insect, which will make the remaining elites a lot easier. That could be a good reason to take Black Star. And we're offered a second copy of Doom and Gloom, which I'm honestly kind of about. Yeah, I'm gonna go double Doom and Gloom, partially because we have the Turbo, partially because we have Compile Driver. Yeah. And if I have 2 Doom and Glooms, I don't feel like I need to upgrade either of them, really. Really happy to get 80 gold out of the chest. Chests don't always contain gold, but having that much additional gold for free is a huge deal. And I think this letter opener is also a huge deal, in part because we have a Turbo and a Seek. Just a little bit more AoE will be invaluable when it comes to dealing with elites. Snow Golem Kirby, thank you so much for those 100 bits. Oh dear, those are the blights from Endless Mode. I think there might be a command, console command you can use to enable those. Sounds tough. Sounds really tough. Nice. Easy fight. Get a potion, and ooh, one of the even better energy generators. Aggregate is here. Or we could take a Cold Snap to round out the orb situation. I actually like the Cold Snap quite a bit, too. I think we're going to end up with a large deck. We have a Seek already. Aggregate's got to be almost exceptional, actually. I think this card got a lot better with the buffs in patch 2.2. And I can't believe how much money we're going to roll into this store with after spending all of it here. Yeah, I'm going to take the Aggregate. It's a much less likely to appear card. Hell yes, Letter Opener. Get in there. Let's see, Aggregate will know. It's full. Turbo will. Boop. And... boop. Take only 4. And that's the fight. Wonderful. Wonderful. Ooh, Fusion. Fusion's interesting, but I think we're good on the energy generation here. What inspired this? Well, we were doing the minimum elites challenge yesterday, which was quite educational. I really enjoyed. I did see a lot of comments to the effect of, "Oh, I would have liked to see max elites." So I figured, why not do that today too? For those who yesterday wanted to see this, here it is. Here it is. I don't think I'm going to be taking any of these cards. I think we've got our damage mostly sorted. This should be able to beat Hexagos, no problem. Let's get a card remove at the shop. Let's maybe buy a relic at the shop. Median elites. Oh my god, more money! Yes! I'm in. Give me 275 gold and a curse. That's much more worth it than the regular Serpent deal. Only 75 gold for a curse. And we get a membership card doubling that 275 gold. So that was actually 550 gold for a curse. Good deal. We call that a jackpot. I think this is going to be a really strong run. Is All for One Deep Breath the non-bow that I want it to be? Yeah, that doesn't seem like it's a good combo, right? And Aggregate? Actually, it is good with Aggregate. This Panache is kind of interesting. With our energy generation. I definitely think I should take a hologram for 13 gold. That's a good deal. And I think a core search is a good idea, too. Ornamental Fan, question mark. Eternal Feather, question mark. Really do like Eternal Feather. That's quite a bit of sustain, as long as the pathing is vaguely reasonable. Do I want this All for One? No, I think I just want Hologram Core Surge. And yeah, we'll go Eternal Feather over the Ornamental Fan. I think I'll keep the rest of the cash. That ensures that when the next time we roll into a store, we're filthy rich for that too. Hell yes, to Reinforced. One of my favorite blocks on the Defect. Do I upgrade hologram? No, we should get Seek upgraded. I think with the tungsten rod we'll be fine for this turn too, although it might hurt a little bit. 5 by... well, yeah, ow, actually. Fair enough. Let's take some damage. I suppose I could use the Swift Potion here, but I don't particularly feel the need to. Make me a couple of Dark Orbs, please. But 3 Dark Orbs, actually. See that I'm losing hit points. Kind of rapidly. Perfect. Quick math. Have... so 24 plus 18... times 3. 126. Yes, we have a kill. Dual cast, hologram, dual cast. Kerblam! And there's the combo. Core Surge plus Bias Cognition for massive focus, making our orbs do the big number. And we already have a Seek Plus so that we may get them both into our hand immediately. That's pretty spicy. And we have membership cards, so we're incentivized... well, maybe not incentivized to go to stores. Because of the max elite pathing, we might not actually be allowed to go to stores, which is not something that I'd considered. So we could get stuck with a lot of cash that we can't spend. Hopefully that doesn't happen. I like these potions quite a bit. Alright. I feel very good about the relic bar so far. How's it going to look after this? Hammer, Choker, Collar. Collar feels like the easiest to take. Giving us additional energy during bosses and elites only. We have Aggregate and Turbo to fuel us during regular fights. With the Eternal Feather, I'm less likely to want a Fusion Hammer here. And I think with Seek Plus, I'm less likely to want a Velvet Choker. Take the color then. Okay, and the good news is we actually get to go to 2 stores. There are multiple different pathings that can fight 3 elites, but we say that in the event of a tie, we must go for the Burning Elites. So here's where we have to fight our Burning Elite in Act 2. And we'll take this rightmost path of a bunch of events into this guy. That's pretty spooky. And that's partially why we need to think ahead to our Act 2 elites, because we really don't get a lot of prep time in Act 2 to actually gear up for them, right? I'm just going to get 2 card rewards and that's it. But fortunately, with Double Doom and Gloom, with the Letter Opener, and with the Bullseye, I feel confident we can beat any of the 3 elites with only moderate to severe health loss. Seeks energy. Core Surge and Biased Cog, please. Core Surge first. Really like that as a hologram target. If that was a Darkness Plus, I'd be all about it. I think here in Act 2 we're now on the lookout for mostly upgraded cards. We built a really solid unupgraded deck in Act 1, and I don't feel the need to add a whole lot other than maybe an Equilibrium or something. Or a Skim. Or things that say plus. How about a Power Potion? Power Potion versus Dex Pot. No, I actually think I like what I've got. These are pretty reliable potions. We've got lots of block cards to work with the Dex Potion. And the Swift Potion could really save us on an aggregate turn or something. Okay. Onwards, then. It's an expensive removal, but I'll take it. Expensive because of membership card. Reducing the price of things. Okay. Nice. Oh no, I forgot to block. Ah! Fools. They had no idea. You know, that's a pretty cool card, actually. Says plus on it. We have a starting orb. We have a letter opener. And we have dark orbs. I actually really like it. Welcome. God, I have to go this way? Why? Alright. Oh, hells to the yes. In an abandoned temple, you find a giant book, open, riddled with cryptic writings. As we try to interpret the elaborate script, it begins to shift and schmorph into writing we are more familiar with. Cursed Tome event is one of the coolest you can find in Act 2, I tend to think. You have to pay a lot of health, 21 hit points, to get the book relic. And there are 3 different possibilities that you can get, one at random. We're in a particularly advantageous spot for this event, though. 1, because we benefit from all 3 of the different books, and 2, because we have Tungsten Rod, which actually significantly reduces the amount of damage you take for this event, from 21 down to 17, since it pings you 4 separate times, and each one of those times is reduced by 1 with Tungsten Rod. You get the Enchilada! The start of each combat will add a random 0-cost power to our hand. Could even be an echo form. And we're also offered apparitions. Do I want to be a spooky ghost? We do have Tungsten Rod, so that certainly incentivizes taking apparitions. That said, I do like the max HP, especially with the Eternal Feather. Apparitions could eat into our upgrades. I'll probably only upgrade one of them, to be honest. I agree that it could backfire easily, but it also puts us in a good position for fighting elites. I like them with the letter opener. As noted, they buy time for the Dark Orbs to do something. I'm gonna take them. I haven't taken apparitions in a while. And given that I just paid out half my HP, it's perfect timing. Immediate payoff, too. Get him, letter opener. Oh, that will kill. I actually don't want to kill the fat gremlin right now. Want to lure the leader into attacking me on an intangible turn, so that they may be disposed of. Smell you later, stinky nerds. Get the blood vial, healing us a little bit each combat. Well, as an offering of these cards. I think additional card draw is very, very powerful here. So I'm really eyeing this machine learning, especially since we have the ability to buy ourselves turns with the apparitions. So we'll have longer fights on average. We'll head to be okay too. Take this machine learning. Alright, shop number 1. There's a clockwork souvenir here, and that's pretty dang good. Starting us out with an artifact means we can use our artifact for multiple different things. It makes it easier to get bias cognition in play without a downside. Machine yearning, I love it, Pele. Favorite modded characters? Let's see, off the top of my head, I really enjoyed the artist. I really enjoyed the gunslinger. I really enjoyed the Hierophant. The Disciple by Chronometrics is still fantastic, although the Watcher kind of obviated her a little bit. Just a few quick picks for you. Decks that benefit the most from Guria, I would definitely think that Limit Break Ironclad is like the #1. But any attack-heavy deck can really, really benefit from some strength. I'd be more inclined to buy a single point of strength with the Vajra here. But I might also opt to just remove cards here. I am going to take the souvenir, and I think I am going to take a card remove. That's it for now. I do have to go to the second shop, since I can't path to the Burning Elite without it. Okay, yeah, we're just gonna stop here then. I do get to upgrade a card. That card is gonna be biased. More money? No, but there is a White Beast statue giving us a potion after every fight. I think that's an exceptional relic, so I will pick it up. And I found a use for our Swift Potion. Please save me from this horrible fate. Well, that's a start. I don't know where the lightnings are going to hit. Twice. So 18 plus 17. Hold on. That's 35. So it won't be a kill if I... bullseye first. Or it won't be a kill if I don't bullseye first, rather. What I'm trying to calculate is if lightning striking plus strike and bullseye and the letter opener can kill the front one, and we're 1 damage short. So what we're gonna do is trust. Choose our intended target, the back guy. Get him. Gotta Gotta build up the attractive molecular electronic force, pulse those 13s, and then when it's ready, blah. Yes! Acceptable outcome. Four here. Yeah. So I get those potions back, easy peasy like, right? Not too bad. Oh man, a symbiotic virus. Meaning we start with a Dark Orb in play. And I really like this reboot, allowing us to reshuffle the draw pile and draw more cards. Tempest could be pretty spicy too, actually. I think I like the reboot. The reshuffle, the redraw, and more letter opener value. Alright, second shop. Offers us the incredibly powerful Hand Drill, but also a second copy of Seek, which is insane. Maybe a defrag if I want one. Gotta say, 39 gold for a Seek is super a steal. So I'll buy that, even if it means I can't remove a card. Do I take the second hologram? This could be a really good upgrade all deck. Be a really good upgrade all deck. Say no. We'll go into our third elite fight this act. Gremlanius Leader. Alright. Chubby Gremo needs to die. Not allow his existence. Good. Got him. Satisfying. And cards that say plus, notably a cool-headed plus, it's Frost Orb and card draw. That's perfect. That's completely perfect. Oh, and we're gonna get 2 more upgrades as well. I can upgrade... Genuinely, I want to upgrade Aggregate now, I think. As we start to get more and more card draw into this deck. Maybe one of the apparitions? There's another Seeked upgrade too, of course. Snecko is about to have a bad time. Actually, yeah, we're going to want to have an apparition upgraded for Champ, I assume. Appreciate that we can toss away apparitions with the reboot, too. Actually didn't notice at first that we did not get confused by Snecko, thanks to the Clockwork souvenir. Oh! Definitely gonna take a plus. Even with the apparitions, I think that's a really good add. see. And yes, we'll upgrade one apparition for Champ. That's just a good idea. Whiskey, thank you so much for the 7 months and the Prime sub. Welcome to the Cozy Sub Club. Why are the Champ's legs so small? Because he's got pew knees. Pew knee weaklings. Alright, sweet. Before Champ gets our debuff nonsense going, we can get our bias cognition down here, as well as place ourselves in a state of having 3 Dark Orbs. Skipped every leg day forever. That's him. And I'm not playing that, not playing that static discharge very much on purpose. Sweet. And the idea is just kind of throw the Dark Orbs until they're ready to explode the Champ into a million tiny pieces. And I think this is actually lethal already, right? If I dual cast hologram dual cast, I could even cool-headed dual cast hologram dual cast. And then we evoke for each of these does 61 times 1.5, 91 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is a big number. GG, sir. Double biased for double artifact. I like it. There's also a multicast to go with the Dark Orbs, letting us evoke the next orb X times. That might even be better, actually. Given that we have big energy generation thanks to Aggregate Plus with multiple Seeks, a multicast could do some seriously heinous things. I really like this multicast upon reflection. Give me that. Oh. The Inserter is here, offering us additional orb slots. We already have pretty good focus gain, thanks to 1 bias cognition. The Inserter allows us to then scale our orbage up, meaning that we'd want to add some additional frost generation to this as a defense mechanism against bosses. But that's pretty cool. Could instead go for more energy. The Sozu with the White Beast statue, a little bit spooky. Runic Dome with apparitions, also a little bit spooky. Which makes me strongly prefer the Inserter as our choice. I'll take that. Hey everyone! Did you know that you can now support me directly on YouTube by getting a channel membership? For as low as $5 a month, you'll get access to perks like custom badges and emojis to use in comments, and discounts on the merch store, all while helping support me and this channel to do what I love every day. Just click the join button below to get started. Now back to the video. And I think that's going to result in some pretty good stuff. Alright, do I have any flexibility in my pathing? Yeah, I've got lots of flexibility, because there are 3 different paths that each fight 3 elites. Good. Easy peasy then. Isn't this how I normally play Spire? I mean, to some extent, yes, and I'm feeling pretty comfortable on this run, in particular. Are we against Reptomancer? I think we're just fine. Giant Head, easy. Nemesis could be a challenge. I think Nemesis is the one we're worst at. We'll opt into the shop, where remember with membership card we're already at effectively 400 gold. So I can easy peasy buy a... thingy. Got him. Loop's gotta be good too, letting us channel or trigger the passive ability of the front orb multiple times. That can build up a dark orb very quickly, or it can block multiple times with a frost orb. But I think we should absolutely take that. We are fighting Awakened One. How's our power count at? 1, 2, Loop would be 3, that's completely reasonable. Keep these current potions. Uh-oh, the Dorklings. Just gonna go ahead and seek first. What do I want here? Just want to set up intangibility for 3 turns. Can play multicast for a 0 without actually losing the orb. Fun fact. I really appreciate that we're in a state of using the orbs almost entirely for the offense of this deck. And we can rely then on our powerful block cards for defense. Potion's pretty good. I would take either battery or recursion if they were upgraded. Unupgraded, I'm not interested. Well now. Those are some interesting options. Dead Branch is here, giving us a random card whenever we exhaust a card. Let's count things that exhaust. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Oh god, we have Apparitions? That's a pretty good Dead Branch, then. I think the Toolbox is also quite good, letting us choose cards on turn 1. I like this Cool-Headed now that we have the Inserter. The Voids from Turbo will exhaust. Various enemy statuses are going to exhaust. That's a pretty good Dead Branch. So I'm thinking Cool-Headed Dead Branch now. And I'm quite happy with that. Branch plus Madness. Can't afford that. Madness would try to make, I guess, one of the Doom and Glooms free. There's not a lot of good hits for the Madness. Dog Barker, thank you so much for that gifted sub. Riot averted. No, I'm taking the Cool-Headed. for the second Frost Orb generator. And I'm gonna fall and lose... Oh my god, what? I guess Bullseye is going the way of the dodo here. That's truly tragic. Because what a tragic choice of 3 here. You're telling me I have to lose Seek, Bias Cog, or Bullseye? No way. Couldn't have asked for Strike? Brutal. Brutal. Alright, I'm gonna go away with the 2 rest sites, I believe. Yeah. Glowing Tesseract. Hell yeah, I'll look at 3 colorless cards. Give me the stuff that says Exhaust on it. Secret Technique is amazing for finding a Seek. More Artifact could be amazing. 3 random attacks could be nice. Got 2 of those. I'll definitely take 1 Violence. Let's go Violence, Panacea, Secret Technique. So why won't Dead Branch pollute this deck? This deck, for the most part, is going to win within a single deck cycle, especially as it gets larger and larger. The Dead Branch, therefore, gives us simply more cards in our hand each given turn, rather than causing us to draw, you know, Dead Branch cards instead of our usual cards. We're drawing them in addition to our usual cards. And that's where the shenanigans start to ensue. Especially when I get turns like this one. This does... Yeah, and here's a good highlight of why, actually, because with the power of Dead Branch, our fights only go for 1 turn. Darkness Plus. Definitely want a Darkness Plus. Cool-Headed Plus is pretty exciting too, but being able to jumpstart the Dark Orbs has got to be incredible. Yeah, so Waken 1 will last long enough, and I think the Inserter is going to carry us there. Nice. Like a Blessing of the Forge over the skill pot. Let's get the other Seek upgraded. Also want to upgrade Multicast. I really want to upgrade everything in this deck, but that may not be possible. I will take 2 events here. I'm going to look for Mind Bloom. Enchiridion, you shouldn't have. You shouldn't have. I mean that. Bruh. Get him, Dead Branch. Get him. ...16 energy this turn. god. We've gone to Crazy Town, chat. Oh man, Stack Plus actually seems pretty good with all the cards we're generating from Dead Branch. I also really like another hologram for the same reason. I'm actually going to take the holo. I really want to be able to have one big turn. Betrayal. Took White Bee statue over this? That seems acceptable. Alright, all keys established. Give me the money. Ooh, that's almost the money. Warped Tongs allow us to upgrade a card every single turn. We're stuck with a Pain Curse, but you know what? Pain is not so bad with Tungsten Rod. Super Onago, thank you so much for the 9 months. That said, we might prefer specific things get upgraded. Target an apparition. And, you know, I don't want Warp Tongues to hit Machine Learning. Oh, I need Loop upgraded, actually. I think I'm just going to choose the upgrade. Okay, no Mind Bloom. It's acceptable. Thanks for the 3rd Seek. I really appreciate that. More Super Dark Orbs, please. What exactly am I doing, you might wonder? Me too. Got all these Dark Orbs, but I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them. Guess this is where the buffer comes in? Done. Good. Second upgraded recursion. I'm in, actually, with how powerful our orbs have become. I'm totally in. Our first free Echo form, hopefully not our last. think this one gets to survive a little bit longer than the previous one did. Yeah. Only bring him down to 6. Shameful. Oh, hit boot! Foolish. Quick. Boot, get value anyway. Good job. Strike dummies here to make our strikes do more. Speed potion's actually really good. Taking that. And another multicast. Sure. Second copy actually doesn't seem bad here. Low Elite Challenge went surprisingly well yesterday, Randomosity. We got 2 wins with the Silent and 1 with the Defect. Nice. Hello, yes. I am here to block. Blam. This claw says plus, but it's not enough to make me take it. Let's stack. Now we have the necessary materials against Awakened 1. I just gotta be careful. So we're gonna be playing Awakened 1 much differently than we've played all the prior fights. Any upgrades that I feel are essential here? I like a multicast upgrade. Maybe one of the holograms? Nah. It's fine. Okay, I won't be playing Hello World. Our goal here is to get a couple of Frost Orbs down to start. Not a great turn 1, but it's okay. That's more like it. Yes. Good. Not going to be playing this buffer. Let's see for hologram. See that Awakened 1 is gaining power. That is okay. Draw 7 cards per turn now. That's pretty exciting. Okay. We're at 10 strength already? Jesus. Well noted. Duly noted. This man needs to die. Don't want to get rid of our orbs in any fashion. We're just... like to hang on now. So, all the attacks are for 16 by 4. Oh, never mind. You're just dead. Well, that makes life easy. Play buffer to absorb next turn's hit. And all we have to do is multicast this... Oh, we're here. I was gonna say, all we have to do is multicast this Dark Orb. Although that's not quite a kill. GG. So even in the Awakened One deck, we only even in the Awakened One fight, we only barely redrew into the Dead Branch cards one time before the fight was over. That's why the Dead Branch ends up so powerful here. It's just bonus cards, without any real penalty or clogging, because of the size of the deck. Good stuff. Next up, Time Eater, who offers us also a Hello World for some insane reason. I think I'm going to play it here. Yeah. Time Eater only scales with the number of cards that we play, so all we have to do is be somewhat deliberate about which cards we choose to play, and everything will be fine. Okay, block the debuffs he's about to try to do. Still become frail, though. Let's go with loop here. Those orbs in front. Are we there already? $56 times 7. Not quite a kill. That's 392. That's really close. Seek Plus for Turbo gets there. GG. Wow, this deck has been incredibly strong. To thump, a deep pulsing dread can be felt throughout the room. Is this the Heart of the Spire, the source of all of these incredibly powerful Dark Orb evocations? You charge your core to its gothiest. Put on black eyeliner. Alright, one final upgrade before the end game here. I think a second apparition is probably the best choice I could make. Although upgrading our card draw in some fashion might have been a choice as well. Some interesting options here. Another aggregate on sale. We could get bonus strength for the elites. Or I can simply opt for another card removal. I also like the boat thingy, guaranteed block on turn 2, which is a frighteningly powerful turn in both the Heart and Spire Elites fight. So that's definitely useful block, if I don't think that I want to remove a card. Also Static Discharge here, very notably, which I think is exceptional with Tungsten Rod against the Heart. Yeah, actually, I think that's what I want, is this Static Discharge for Heart Fight, and I'll remove a strike. Second Aggregate? We've had first Aggregate, yes, but what about second Aggregate? I'm gonna do it. Okay. Onwards. Hoping to use the speed potion in the Heart fight, but I might need it here. Blocks for 28. That's pretty good, but then I don't get to play the Darkness. I've already got multiple uses for my artifact in the Heart, although we have an excess of artifacts. Block with the Forge Potion, maybe. I don't think that's a particularly good use of the Forge Potion. It's a question to me of whether I use the Speed Potion for this fight or not. I might need it for next turn anyway. I think I'll use it here. This is definitely a fight where it's necessary to push damage. Absolutely. This is not a fight you want to mess around in. It gets very spicy very quickly. Oh, the lucky draw. Beautiful. Seek yet. Interesting. Let's have some fun here. I don't actually need to use this apparition because I believe I have lethal here. Zapser. I'll take it. Hey, and we at least get a potion back for the Heart. That's right, which we knew we were going to get. And a Mummy Hand, giving us something free whenever we play a power. Buffer looking pretty good too. Stack might be the Lifesaver though. Not sure which is better, but I'm going to guess Buffer, especially with Mummy Hand. Alright, I feel like our odds going into Heart are exceptional. I can't believe we just got a Heat Sinks off of the thingy as well. That's incredible. Bias Cog turn 1. Also pretty incredible here. We're going to be take 1 reduced damage from each beat here. That heat sink's the thing I want to upgrade. How many power? 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think heat sinks is what I want to upgrade. Good luck to me. Ruin has come to our family. No Seeks, no Apparitions, no Buffer. I guess we hologram for Leap Plus. That keeps me alive at a minimum here. And gives us the chance at generating something useful. I guess Rainbow's useful. Rainbow Leap keeps us alive. That'll have to do. We want to do it in this order. Do a recursion that orb. I think I will. Feels like I pretty much have to Apparition here. Otherwise I'm going to be taking Beat of Death damage and all that. Do you want to play the Darkness? Can I get Recursion to work for me? I could. So I seek Zap, Recursion. Assuming I want to do lightning things. Definitely want to get Machine Learning in play. Oh yeah, and we're going to start drawing cards too once I seek for powers. So I think what I'm going to do is Apparition Plus. This might result in us drawing the other Apparition, and that's unfortunate if so. It's okay. I figured as much. So I might as well play all three then, yeah? Feels right. mention that. Doing that. 3 turns of intangible. Good luck to us. Hopefully we're getting the multi-attack next. Yes, good. Perfect. So we should do as much damage as possible this turn. Too much frost, though. Alright, hit me. Oh wait, actually we don't take anything. Right. Okay, that's actually fine. All we need is 1 good multicast, and the ability to survive this turn, which is totally possible with buffer. Speed of death still 2. Perfect. I'd say this one's in the bag, then. Fair. GG. What a run. Hey everyone. Thanks so much for watching. Did you know that I'm live 5 days a week on Twitch? Come join us to watch me live, ask questions, or chill with the community. Click the link in the description below to follow and be notified when I'm live. And while you're down there, make like a sandwich and sub to this channel for more fresh Baylor content. Ta-ta for now.